Hello, good evening, and welcome to my channel once again. Um, Today our trending topic about the pastor in Orlando, the Ghanaian pastor that shot his wife 7 times. I want to say this before I start. We can't blame it on pastors, imam, um, rabbis, because we are all human beings. We all are here for a purpose. The pastors are Christians. Um, they're serving God, but they still live in a human form. Rabbis and imam and everybody in all those religious authority. We're just human and we can fall into temptations. Some people just take their religious leaders to too much of a higher esteem and kind of forget the purpose of why they are believing in whatever religion they are believing in, and they kind of look more to the people than to the main purpose, which is God. All these are all just mediums that help us, that guide us. They're like guidance. It's just like you have presidents and governors. This guy, it was a very, very sad story because, like we say, when people are in love and you think you love somebody, if you can have them, then nobody can have them. We have to sit down sometimes and really take a look and listen. It's just like I say, sometimes when things are going wrong, take time out for yourself. And yes, people get hurt. We all get hurt. It's part of our human purpose. We're human beings. We have feelings. Each and every one of us has blood flowing through our veins. So we are human. We feel things. We get hurt and everything. But as much as we get hurt, we all should cry. It's part of our being. We all should get hurt. It's part of our being, or else we're just common animals. Yes, we are a higher form of animal. So the pastor was wrong because yes, they were going through a divorce, and it's been so many things trending. Some people say because she was dating their leader, choir master. Even if she was, if they're divorcing, he wasn't expecting her life to end. And if he had just gone on with his own life, a lot of women in churches are always looking for the pastors. They give themselves freely to pastors. So he would have gotten somebody else anyway. So for him to do that, and right now, it's just, to me, I see it as double loss. The woman's family lost their child. No parent should ever, she was only 27 years old. No parent should ever bury their child. They can never have her back. And the man was only 35 years old too. His family are losing a son. He's not dead, but it's Florida. He's going to be if he's lucky enough to even be in jail for the rest of his life, he's not going to be able to be with his family. He's not going to be with his loved ones. So sometimes relationships have ups and downs, and sometimes some relationships are just not meant to be together. We look at the world we live in and we think we're supposed to be with certain people. Sometimes that's not the way it is. Sometimes walk away from things and walk away happily. And yes, you are going to hurt because you are no longer with that person. But you know, before you know it, it's like sometimes it's, oh, I can never live without this person. This person was meant for me. When you actually walk away, you even God, when God let things happen. He let things happen. It's not because he chose them for us. Sometimes he lets us do what he gives us free will. Let's just put it that way. He let us make our own choices, but at the same token that we make those choices, even when it's over, he will always bring sunshine back to our life. You always make us happy. There will be somebody else that will help you pick the pieces. And when you meet that somebody, you're gonna tell yourself, oh, this is a person I've been waiting for, the male, the female I've been waiting for all my life. This completes me. It's just a circle of life. Sometimes when things like that happen, we should let it, you know, we should grieve the process and eventually move on from the process, because it will all still come to pass. There is nothing that goes up that don't go down, like Africans say. And we should never resort to taking another person's life, because we do not own nobody's life, even our own lives. Yes, sometimes things are really bad. You like, I want to end it, I want to end it. But we do not have that power. We do not have that power. We should not resort to that, because things will, there's always a sunshine. You know, there's always sunshine. There is no day we go to sleep and then the next day the sun don't rise again. So tomorrow is another day, and it is something for us to look forward to. So it's a pity that this happened to people. I don't know them personally, but I think they both were, I think, probably were good people. The pastor did not preach killing in the pulpit. He preached about God, he preached about love, you know, but he was a human being, and that was why he let temptation get over him. You know, he couldn't take his own preaching, and probably then, you know, he felt weak, and he felt if he went to people for help would make him feel weak. We all need somebody. All of us need somebody. No man is an island. You know, life, everybody need, you need a shoulder. Sometimes there are times we are at our strongest, and sometimes we're weak. And when we're weak, we do need somebody that can help us through that downtime. And that was what was missing, in my opinion, and that he couldn't deal with, navigate, and move on, because, you know, I know by now he must be regretting his decision. So all of us, we shouldn't, really, it's easy for us to just want to crucify him and say, yes, he killed somebody. Yes, he did wrong. I would never agree and say he did something good. We should glorify him. No, he did wrong. He was very, very wrong. But you know, sometimes that is why when people talk about mental health, you know, this brings us to that. You know, maybe he was unstable, but he felt as a preacher he had to live in the persona that people saw him, and he was just living this false life and couldn't go to people for help. And sometimes, and then when people break down, they break down, and they break down hard. Each and every one of us, we have our weaknesses, and that was his weakness. So we just pray for both families, and that they can be able to live with this great tragedy, and to be able to move on from what has happened to them. And again, we Christians that go to churches, please, please, you know, we kind of take our men of God as so much our first ladies, like they don't have no saying, they can't do this, they can't do that. We hold them a little bit too high. We're not seeing the purpose, you know, and daddy this, daddy that. Before we started going to church, you know, we had parents. They're our father in Christ, but they're not our daddy this, daddy that, the way people really do it. And you know, that is why these people think that they have to live a certain way. When we go to churches, the pastor wants to be the one preaching. He wants to be the one dreaming. He wants to be the one interpreting his dream. He's the Alpha, the Omega. And in the Bible, it clearly tells us that God is our Alpha and Omega. But because of our belief, we're making them our Alpha and Omega. You know, even in the Bible, in the Bible, Joseph would have never really been helped if after his brother sold him, he went to jail. He wouldn't be able to reveal, be the one to be able to interpret the dream to Pharaoh if it's the same way that we are living now. Pharaoh would have been, since he was a king, he would have been the one dreaming the dream and interpreting it himself. Or maybe a man of God. There were men of God then, would have been the one to see the dream, interpret it. So there would have been no purpose for Joseph. So there is somebody, we all have a purpose in life. God created all of us for certain things. I can, some people dream, some people can tell us what the dreams are about, and some people can just be able to guide us through certain things. We all have different gifts, and some people, they say the mouth is the tongue is a powerful instrument, and some people can just be able to say things and they'll say it, carelessly, and it comes to pass. But sometimes people say, oh, everything we all say, there's power in the tongue, there's power in the tongue, and sometimes it's just careless talking and it's nothing, it doesn't mean anything. People ask me, oh, dreams are supposed to, I tell them, if I think I won $1 million and go to bed, I dream of $1 million. And if I think I'm dead broke before going to bed, I wake up the next morning and say, I dreamed that I was broke, So I tell people my dreams are just dreams. They say, no, everybody's dreams don't mean everything. That is how we lie to ourselves. All pastors cannot do everything. But like, there was a church I was going to when I was really young back home, and the pastor said people want to judge him, but at the end of the day, and a lot of people where I come from know this pastor, but they want to take what they want to take. The reality of it, what he used to say, because I'm somebody that really don't forget things, he used to say, when I go and preach in the pulpit, do I preach to you and say, go and kill your neighbors? Do I preach to you and say, be evil to your neighbors? So when I go, do not follow what I do, but what I preach. When I'm in that pulpit, I'm preaching the word of God, and I'm preaching it for you to follow what I'm saying, because when I go there, I'm reading the Bible, I'm preaching these things, and this is what I'm preaching to you. But if you have to scrutinize everything about my own personal life, yes, you're going to see flaws, because I am only human. And that is where we really kind of make these pastors, these men of God, we want their flaws to be perfect. No, they are human beings, and if they don't have that flaws, we cannot relate to them. And then let's go to the next one. Somebody asked me during the week, what do I think about couples when they're divorcing, if they should share their property, their assets 50-50. I would put it this way. If at the time you met your significant other, your partner, at the time you met them, yes, they might have had dreams of how they can build up and be something. If they didn't have those things and you were with them and you spent significant amount of years with them, yes, when you divorce, this is not Africa, and even in Africa, it's changing these days. If they divorce, you cannot divorce somebody, even if let's say the wife wasn't working while she was there raising your kids, tending to your house, and helping you and encouraging you and always telling you, you can make it, we can do this, and be that encouraging voice and pushing voice to help you rise on top. And then later something happens and you have to divorce, and then you say, oh yes, I made the money, I don't think that's right. And you cannot leave somebody, if you're leaving somebody, you should leave them to the life they are not accustomed to. If they were with you for 20 years and they had certain level of things that they had, you don't expect, oh, because you cheated on them or something, you're divorcing, they're just gonna go, oh, no, they didn't bring nothing to the relationship. They didn't bring nothing to the relationship because if both of you were busy, nobody was encouraging you, probably stay in that 9 to 5 job and just be able to pay your bills and not really advancing. Somebody had to push you, somebody had to encourage you, somebody had to keep the drive going for you to attain it to whatever level you are now at. And if that person did that, you shouldn't leave that person broke. And sometimes we should, as human beings, just think as I know when you're going through a divorce, it's a rough patch. Yes, people can come after a divorce and be friends, but at the time you're going through it, you're not loving the person, you're not right to the person. So you have to think of it. If it was you, would you really want that person to just leave you to nothing? No, I don't think it's right, but in reality, do I really think depends on how much money the person has? Do I really think it should be 50-50? No. But at least 60-40, 55-45, set that person up, and like if you have 200 million and you say the person should be paying 5 million every month, no, it doesn't make sense, because you do that, you're trying to break the other person. Should it be a matter of breaking somebody? No, it's a matter of considering the other person and knowing if not for your actions or for their actions, you still be together and you both worked for it, whether one had to go to the farm or one had to tend to the house. Because if you had to tend to the house, you won't be able to go and put the work out there. So I think both people did equal job for it. So we should always consider that. And that would be it for today. And I thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all so much for watching and for viewing. And today's makeup and the makeup products are from Zibella Glam Collections. Our website will be up soon. And the person that gave us this beautiful look is Zelda Gambia, my one and only. And the jewelry is from Osadia LLC. Our website for that will be up soon, even the fabrics and everything. And we'll be seeing you soon. And if you have questions, please send it to our Gmail. We always post it at the bottom. And thank you so much for viewing. Today's verse is from Psalm, I know it's continuation from last week, Psalm 41, verses 9 to 13. Thank you so much. I love you all, and just keep watching.